Welcome back to the Booyah podcast. I got Mike Bufundo here with me today, trumpeter, vocalist for, of course, West End Blend. You probably see him here a lot for Booyah, and of course, Mihali Band as well. Welcome, man.
It's good to be here. It's my first time on the podcast. I like it.
And hopefully not the last, man. We want to get everyone involved.
Yeah.
So, we were just talking about some of the stuff you were doing with Mihali Band, but let's get the people caught up. The biggest kind of dates that stand out to me right now where you were just out in Colorado.
Yeah, we did Boulder at the Fox Theater and then Cervantes in Denver.
Okay.
And those shows are great. It really it feels like the band's starting to kind of gel. Like this is a new band Mickey put together and just kind of everyone's trying to figure out where we fit in. And now the past few shows, it's been locking in more and more and being more just kind of like chill, which is nice.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking to Omen on one of the previous episodes about it. Obviously, he's touring with the duo thing.
Right, he's out there. Yeah, he's been going hard in the Midwest. That dude, I've been just watching his Instagram stuff every day. I'm talking to him.
I'm losing
grinding
track
out there. Yeah, every night it's they're in a different Midwest and just kind of making their way back here, and then we're gonna meet them this Saturday and play the Reggae Fest up in Mount Snow.
Oh, you're gonna be doing that?
Yeah.
Nice. I was going to say, if I wasn't going to be out of town, I'd definitely be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Mount Snow is a cool place. Remember last time we played there?
Dude.
It was New Year's Eve 2020, right before the world shut down. And we went for our midnight, it was Let's Go Crazy by Prince. And I was doing the Dearly Beloved. We are gathered here today, and all of a sudden the microphone cut out and the fire alarm went out and everyone had to leave at 11:58. And everyone just up. Happy New Year, everybody. Yep. That was our New Year. That was an omen of things to come for the year, I feel like. It was just a sign, a red flag.
Yeah, seriously, what a weird way to start a new year.
Yeah, it sucked. Shit sucked.
That sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, and before that too, we've had some pretty crazy nights at
the Snow Barn.
Yeah,
I think we're actually playing outdoors for that show, but
outdoors.
Yeah, it's gonna be chilly. It's gonna be a brisk day,
Reggae Fest and cold.
They're actually doing the
mountain.
ski plunge where they go over the water and they try not to eat shit and die. It's gonna be cool. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They all dress up in costumes and shit.
They try to glide on the water and do their best not to get hypothermia. It's a fun time.
Are you gonna do it?
No. No, dude.
Why? You don't want to be in your T-Rex costume with your trumpet and some skis and just fly across that water?
I'm not gonna make it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hypothermia before my set.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
Well, dude, tell me about, because you also just did a fly date out to Cali, right?
Yeah, that was the Cali Vibes Festival out there. That was sick. That was really cool. The Marleys, the Stephen and Damian Marley set was my favorite. I'm pretty sure Shaggy got me pregnant. During Shaggy's set, it got a little steamy. He demonstrated the wine in many versions.
What is that?
I'm not going to demonstrate. I don't have the power.
Okay.
But, it's all in the hips, as they say. And I'm not going to lie. I still feel a little pregnant from that show.
Shaggy got you pregnant there.
He'd say it wasn't him.
All right. So for people at home, give us the story. What happened during his set? Because it sounded hilarious.
So you really, spoiler alert. And this is just me, this is just me recapping of what I saw from this ending. They end with "wasn't me," but you can't.
Yeah.
And I won't get too much into it, but they did flash a picture of Tiger Woods, and he said, "Don't be like Tiger Woods if you get caught." And they showed a picture of Bill Clinton. They're like, "Be like Bill Clinton," and about half the crowd cleared out.
Oh
He's like, "All right, I'll see you later." And I'm like, "Wow." This is everything I thought it would be and so much more.
I wonder if they planned it that way so that everyone will clear out to get to the next person's set.
It worked. It worked. But yeah, The Marley's set was my favorite though. That was cool. They did a really cool stripped down version of "Could You Be Loved," which was like, it's cool. It's sick.
Was that your first time in Cali?
I'd been in California. Last time I was there, it was for the Grateful Dead 50 anniversary shows in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
It was like 8 years ago, whatever it was, but it had been a while.
So it was your first time there to like perform?
Yes, first time performing in California.
What was that like?
It was nice. There was like palm trees and it was warm, and I'm like, this is dope. This is gotta do more of this stuff. Like playing reggae in like a beach setting, and like especially as my first time in California, just like I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. This is nice. Like, not saying it doesn't, I love playing reggae in the cold. I feel like I'm a big fan of Jimmy Buffett, you know that. So I feel like it's like escapism when you get to play like, a reggae song or something tropical and it's like cold outside. It's good for the soul. Like, warms you up. It's nice. It's like a little Caribbean vacation in your mind.
I'm craving that. I mean, like today is shitty out, but like it's been so nice lately, and I'm just like getting all the summer feels right now.
I'm ready for it.
I'm ready, dude. Ready for festival season. What was I gonna say? You mentioned Grateful Dead obviously being a huge thing for you, and obviously Jimmy Buffett too. Yep. But that goes like way back, further than 8 years ago.
That was my first show as a Jimmy Buffett show, and I was 3 years old, and it was in Hartford, and they used to have the band, the Coral Reefers, play in the parking lot, and I was like 3 years old. My parents told me, I remember dancing. I remember there was this like little girl, and she had a horse, and like she was my age. We're like, oh, we're cool, chilling with a horse, and this is a great time. The band's
kind of
playing.
Horse are we talking?
Like a toy horse, like a little plastic,
okay.
Okay,
I thought there's like a rocking horse in the Jimmy Buffett lot.
No.
Like...
But and my parents realized that was Jimmy Buffett's daughter, and they're like, go play, go play, and like we're having the time of our life, and I think like her nanny came to like get her, and apparently we were both crying like, no. My parents were like, take him backstage, and they're like, no, he's 3. So it didn't work out. My parents tried to pawn me off, which was
they tried to set you up.
But it's actually funny, that show, it was my first concert ever, and James Taylor came out and did Mexico, I remember.
Nice.
And I remember, like, to this day, I remember Jimmy Buffett being like, all right, this is my friend James Taylor coming out. And I'm like 3 years old. And like a couple months later, we were in the grocery store, and a James Taylor song was playing on the radio. And I was 3, and I'm like, Mom, that's Jimmy Buffett's friend. She's like, oh,
dude,
you listen to music. Okay.
Yeah, like you actually remembered that.
Like that's what like
as
got
a 3-year-old.
them. Yeah, that's what got them to like. I went to like kinder music like back in like the day at University of Hartford when I was like 3-4 years old before school. And
yeah.
Playing my little red glockenspiel.
Yeah, I was gonna say how. I feel like the biggest carryover from Grateful Dead and Jimmy Buffett and stuff is like the spirit of their music.
Yeah,
that, like,
it's definitely an escapism, like in its own way. It's the cult thing. It's the following. It's like, well, you won't see Parrot Heads like follow the entire tour, but people will gear up like lawyers, doctors, like that's like they're okay. Buffett's coming this weekend.
Yeah.
It's like spring break for like physicians and lawyers.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like we're trying to like cultivate that here at Booyah too. Like you look out in the Arch Street Tavern crowd on any given Wednesday night, and there could be like Grateful Dead heads, or there could be like lawyers from next door.
Yeah,
like just having a good time.
It's a place where I feel I'm so like grateful for Booyah for the past, it was going to be 8 years, 9 years, 8 years. The fact that we get to create a community and like have a community of people, some people who would like never meet each other or like, cross paths, and yet they're like Wednesday buddies. They see each other like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? It's cool. It's a really cool way of bringing people together, and just everyone as well. It's like from walks of life. Literally all walks of life. And seeing people's lives over 8 years. It's like we've got to know these people, some of these people like so personally, seeing them like, just about every Wednesday for years and years. And the running joke of, so many relationships have started and ended because of Booyah.
Oh, God. We've played some of those weddings.
We've played weddings. Some of them worked out. and it's beautiful. It's life.
Yeah.
But really, it's really, it's like I can tell what happened and what was going on by what the theme was that Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. One thing I think that is really cool too is we're doing different stuff every single week.
Yeah, if I had to play the same thing every day, I don't think I could play music. Like, or not even every day. Like, if I played the same set and that was a set, I don't. That's not what I want to do. I want to have improvisation, spontaneity.
Yep.
Even if like it's for like Pink Floyd, we've done that so many times. Like even digging up and be like, oh, let's do this song. We've never done this song before.
Yep.
Or like, hey, we haven't done this song in years. Let's resurrect this one. Or it's just something different every week. And by doing that, I feel like every week is special. Every week is,
Yeah, and honestly, I got to give you credit too, because it's a lot of lyrics, it's a lot of music, and for us, we're almost like and people see this from the crowd too. We're almost like relying on you to give us those cues and like guide us through each song. And I wanted to ask you tonight too, because you're so good at doing the cues and the direction. I mean, it's sometimes there's a miss here and there, and that just
we're gonna
happens.
miss. It's
But like, where did that come from originally?
It came a lot of it from, I want to say, Bobby Sanaber, the Afro-Cuban teacher. I went to Manhattan School of Music, and I was in the Afro-Cuban band. And that was like, everything was cute. It was like very James Brownish. Like you have to watch him, or like he'd, give you shit if you mess up. Or I got sweared at by like an 80-year-old Puerto Rican dude one time. It was oh God, what's the name of the club in the East Side? It was a New York social lounge, and I was filling in with a salsa band, and I was taking a solo, and I was like, hey, it'd be fun to cross the clave, and the clave is dot, 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 dot. It could be 2-3, it could be 3-2, it could be rumba, it could be son clave. There's all variations, but whatever the clave is, that's like the lifeblood of the song.
Yeah.
You do not fuck with the clave. And I fucked with the clave, and I found out. And this like old dude just started yelling at me. I heard Konya. I got that part. I understood that he was mad, and I went back to playing the clave and never did that again. But as far as the cues go, like we would be in those rehearsals, and if we're coming up on a concert, he would just we would have a folder with numbers on the songs.
Oh.
And he would be like, play songs over, percussion section vamps. He would either slow down or speed up the tempo, and he'd call out number 45, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 into the next song.
Wow.
And we would do this for 2 hours with no breaks.
Wow.
And that's a lot of it where like my cueing comes from, I would say.
Okay, so it's just like this like huge, exercise in like watching a conductor making like very split-second decisions on where the band's going to go.
Not getting just lost in your charts, not getting lost in the getting lost in your individual part. It's
right.
like understanding what is going on in the whole orchestra.
Yeah,
the whole
I mean,
band,
like there's a certain level of awareness, I think, that like when we're on stage with Booyah specifically, because the music is always changing, there's always like a little on the edge of your seat feeling every time we're on stage, and so we're always like on high alert, and if you throw up a cue for something, we're catching it, and I always wondered like where that kind of like originated from.
Bobby Sanaber.
Because like when I first used to play, we used to play at that place in Simsbury,
Iron Frog,
yep. And we had to fill like these 3-4 hour sets, and I didn't know the repertoire at that time, so it was like all just you telling us like what to do.
I was teaching like Iko and like Women Are Smarter on the fly, and just like 2-chord jams. It's like, all right, this is called Fire in the Mountain. Here we go.
Yeah, we're like
B to A.
6 beers deep on the gig at that point. Just like,
That's the best kind of learning, I feel like, on the fly.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, speaking of which, we're doing James Brown tonight. And like that is a prime example of how James Brown would conduct his band.
Oh, that's all him. Just like, most of those like records that you hear, like 99% of them are them just in the studio and James Brown just yelling out shit and like the band like responding to what's going on. Like, all right, that 5 minutes sounded cool. We're gonna cut that and that's a single. That's basically what the, at a certain era, like, the Mustache era is my favorite, but like
Hell yeah.
after it stopped being like the massive orchestra band, it just became like, okay, I'm just gonna call some shit out and we're gonna fucking write. Like he treats the band like his instrument.
Like the perfect way of saying it. And that's like, I feel like tonight's going to be like a really good example of like how we can just have a framework to start with. Like, just like the salsa guy, like we're going to do a 1, a 2, we'll go to the 3, we'll go to the end, we'll go to the head, the beginning.
Maybe just vamp and do some stuff and see what happens. And
do you get a chance to do stuff like that with like when you're playing with Mihali band?
It's definitely more song driven, I'd say. We do improvise a lot, and we usually throw in a jam. Like there, at least like there will be like one song in the set. We're gonna stretch it out and like do like a explore.
Yeah, but like, are you calling those shots and like putting up hands?
No,
okay,
no. But he's actually been letting me sing. He's been having me sing some songs.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. I did "Burning Down the House" the other day, and a lot of times I'll do the Stairway to Heaven ending. Everyone on down the road. That stuff. But
that's cool. So yeah, I mean, you're still getting inserting your own like character into like every setting that you go into.
I feel like that's it's kind of like part of my playing is like, I don't ever want to be like stepping on toes. I don't ever want to be like, oh, it's about I gotta sing. It's like, but it always kind of like with Erica, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have like a different, like, she's been going in, like kind of change a pace back to that, or like build off of each other and kind of create something cool. I love doing. Yeah. Erica's from West End Blend is probably like my favorite person to sing with ever, just because like we're so like different as far as what our whatever like preferences for growing up music but we're so alike as far as like our humor or the way we think, or like even when we're just thinking something, we can kind of look over and have that telepath like,
yeah,
you see this shit?
Like, or you'll link up on something and be like, hell yeah. Also, like, I feel like people that are listening that might not know you as well, like I think they want to know too, like you have this unique vocal style too, like this tone that's gritty. I would describe it as like gritty, raw, but also like you have this like massive range too. Like where do you get like your vocal influence from?
I love Otis Redding.
Yep.
Definitely one of my main influences. Levon Helm was a big influence for me. Jerry Garcia, like in the way he would phrase and kind of like roll. It's like almost like he's crooning sometimes when he would sing, and like it's not fully like Sinatra laying back or like Dean Martin laying back.
Yeah.
But he's got a little croon to him, which I always kind of like kept in my singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like where I learned how to sing was I went to Columbia for my master's.
Yeah. By the way, this guy is an Ivy Leaguer.
Ivy Leaguer.
Him.
I know. It's
yeah.
Hilarious. But I did vocal pedagogy and choral pedagogy. And vocal pedagogy was basically anatomy. Learning how to use your formants, how to shape your vowels, how to put your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as range goes, like that taught me how to kind of go up high. If I'm going to go up high, how to sing without sounding shrilly or singing, And if I'm going down low, how to use enough chest and how to use enough, like, so it'll cut through and,
Yeah, I mean, it's such a distinct sound. Like, you could be anywhere and you could start singing and I can be like, oh, that sounds like that's Profundo. It's a very recognizable voice. And
remember when someone said I sounded like a cartoon frog? That was my favorite. That was at a Dopapod show.
Was that what it was?
We opened up for Dopapod and Higher Ground's like, yo, man, you sound like a cartoon frog. That's fucking awesome, dude. And I was like, thank you. Hell yeah.
Thanks,
man.
Dude.
Frogs are tight.
Frogs are
tight, dude. What's your favorite frog?
Obviously, Bufun Toad.
Oh, yeah. He comes out every now and then.
Or what else? What else we got?
I like the kind of like round ones that look like that, and they're just like fat and like they can't even really walk. They just like bury in the sand and shit.
There's
scream.
blobs.
They're just like blobs that go. Look them up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one
Yeah.
up. All right, we're gonna do a new segment here in the Booyah podcast, and guys, we need you to submit more questions because this is the fan question segment. So you can drop them in the comments below, or before each episode, I'm going to start putting out a poll, seeing what type of questions you guys want to ask my guests. So, are you ready?
Yep, I've never read these questions, by the way.
Yeah, he has never seen these before, so I'm going to start with fan question number 1. Robert asks, boxers or briefs?
So I like the Duluths. I'm a huge Duluth fan. I got, I think these are.
You want to show us?
No. You gotta. That's for my OnlyFans page. You're gonna have to like subscribe to that. I'll put a link in there for you.
Yeah, links in the bio there. Yeah.
But I love Duluths. The Buck Nakeds, the bullpens where they give you the extra.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. The Armachillos are tight.
Tight. Yep.
Yeah.
Love Armachillos. Yeah. Okay. So it's briefs.
Briefs. Are those briefs? Briefs.
Yeah. Hybrid.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy asks, why haven't you ran for mayor yet?
I actually am running for mayor, and this is my announcement speech. Yeah.
Vote for him.
Vote for me. Bufondo 2035. Let's go with that.
If you were elected mayor, what would be the one thing that you bring to this city?
The one thing I bring to the city?
Yeah. Or one thing you change?
The one thing I'd change? Oh, okay. If I could change one thing, I would have sales of marijuana at the bar.
That would be convenient.
Yeah. I'm just talking economical. I'm not talking about, partaking. But I'm just saying, for an economic standpoint, I think that could bring in a good influx of money to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, nowadays, when people don't drink as much.
Yeah.
Like when they
Some
go
people
out,
don't want to drink. You
just diversify your offerings.
Exactly.
And then your food sales.
Wow, that was actually a logical answer. Look at that. All right.
And the food sales will go through the roof, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Great answer.
That is a win-win.
That was an awesome question. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Oyster Bub asks. All right. I've been chomping at the bit to ask this one. Where do you get your ideas from?
Dreams sometimes. Sometimes, just life. Seinfeld episodes. Yeah.
Where do you get your ideas
Where
from?
do you get your ideas from, Oyster Bub?
Dude, my brain, I think.
Yeah, in the neurocortex region.
My idea center?
Yeah. I have top men working on it. Top men.
Thank you, Oyster Bub, for your question. Okay, Tree asks, if you could magically make your horn play any sound other than its usual notes, what sound would you choose and why?
All right, easy. At Cali Vibes, the Reggae Fest, I love the reggae horn. If I could do anything, I would just go, and I can't try to recreate it. It's just not going to sound like it would. But if it could do that, that would be tight.
I thought you were going to say something completely different, which
Nope.
I thought you were going to say the Jerry Wah.
I got a mooch on. I'm still working on it.
All right. Here's another good one from Tree. Does your horn have a name?
No, it doesn't, but it should.
Should we name your horn on this podcast? That came out wrong.
No, it's all right. Comment
below.
Comment ideas.
What should Bufondo name his horn?
Yeah.
And at this horn, we're talking.
Oh, this horn. Oh, that's Charisse. No. Nah.
Okay. If your horn could talk, what do you think it would say about you as its player?
Probably got some nasty ass breath.
Clean me.
Clean me. Trumpet breath is a thing. It happens to the best of us.
That's the only thing you think it would say, though.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you're like, hey.
Beyond that, it would definitely say clean me. It'd be like, yo, polish me up every now and then. What are you doing?
Okay, if I was your trumpet, I would say we've been through some shit together.
Yeah.
You've brought me all over the world. Thank you for bringing me on this journey and, putting me in front of some pretty epic crowds.
I'm super fucking fortunate that I get to play like for some of these crowds and some of these every show. Honestly, like every show. If I were playing a show and there was like 30 people there, I'd be like, tight. These 30 people came out to pay some money to come hang out and listen to some songs, and this is for them. Like, it doesn't really matter, but
yep.
I am very lucky for some of the crowds I've gotten to play for and some of the bands and some of the musicians I've gotten to play with.
I mean, and
I'm incredibly lucky.
It's really only just begun, man. Like your resume is just massive. Just the people you've sat in with or gone on stage with or toured with or had on your band, in those situations too. I mean, so I think that your network and your bubble is just kind of getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. All right, let's close with a couple more. What do you say?
Let's do that.
Right.
Yeah.
If you could magically transform into any animal while playing your horn, which animal would you choose and why?
While playing my horn. Something that like maybe a possum or like some sort of like, like a monkey that could climb or like hang or like a sloth. A sloth.
Sloth.
I just want to like hang out in a tree and just be like, but my fingers wouldn't move that fast though.
I was gonna say
if I was playing like some like Miles like ballad or something like that, like
depends on the song.
Yeah, like if it was like a Chet Baker My Funny Valentine, I could just very Miles even like just play a few notes and it'd be tight. It'd be like, wow, that's a cool sloth.
Yeah.
About the notes you don't play when you're a sloth. You hear those notes?
Sid the sloth. Sid the sloth. All right. Well, one more. This one is okay.
I'm sorry. I'm going back. Panda bear.
Panda bear.
Panda bear.
Okay,
oh yeah. We're just gonna leave it at that.
All right. Yep. No explanation needed there.
You know it. You understand.
All right. And then Tom asks. This is a weird one.
Okay.
Have you ever considered bottling up your spit valve juice and putting it up for auction on
I said
eBay?
I have an OnlyFans. Why don't you listen? Yeah. It's in the link.
It just seems like it's a waste to all let it go on stage.
No. I know. That's why, for $5.99 you can buy a vial of my trumpet spit. And you can do what you want with it.
Anything. Well, okay.
Boil some eggs.
We're going to put that OnlyFans link, and you can use coupon code Booyah for 50% off.
Yep. Make sure you put the exclamation point, though. People always get that.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Booyah exclamation point.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. So use that promo code, and you'll get 1,000% off.
Yep.
The Bufondo Spit Valve Juice.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're gonna sign off. We're gonna go play a good show tonight. But you want to plug anything before we sign off here?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Bag of Fun. It's tomorrow night, Thursday, Arch Street Tavern. Get in the bag. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, if you're listening to this tomorrow, which will be Thursday, come out tonight.
Tonight. Get in the bag.
Yes. I'll be on drums, actually. And we've got some other cool dudes, too.
Jason, Paulie is going to be on it, and then Brad Moreno from Six Fox Whiskey.
Oh, hell yeah. So, yeah. Come out tonight.
Get in the bag.
Bufondo's Bag of Fun. And yeah, man, thank you for having Thank you for having me. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Anytime, man. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Peace, guys.
See ya.
Like, comment, subscribe. We love you.